I have created the greatest goalie of all time, but he's going to start out in the CHL on the Halifax Mooseheads, play out his draft season there, and then we will spin the wheel to see which team he will be joining in the NHL, and we are going to simulate his entire career from start to finish, hopefully going down as the greatest goaltender of all time. That is Mr. LaPecca Pasta here on the Halifax Mooseheads, already starting out his CHL career draft year as well. So let's go ahead, take a look at the Halifax Mooseheads roster and see what this team is looking like. So offensively, I don't really know what to compare it to. I know Jordan Dumais is a very good prospect and was very good with the Mooseheads, but outside of that, I mean, our team, I guess, is kind of decent offensively. Defensively, we don't really have any D-man that stand out, but luckily, we have a 99 overall, 17-year-old Pekka Pasta, 6'7", 200 pounds in the CHL, absolutely dominating. This is what his stats currently look like, 99 straight across the board. Outside of glove low, for some reason, I don't know why it's a 96. But yeah, I mean, this team pretty much is going to be carried by Pekka Pasta. Hopefully, they can go on and win the Memorial Cup. But first, they'll have to go through the CHL playoffs if they even want a shot at the Memorial Cup. So let's go ahead and simulate to see. So at the end of the season, Halifax was actually pretty decent. 42, 21, and 5. 89 points. We were not close to Moncton, but we would end up being second in our division. And for the entire QMJHL, we were the third best team behind the, I am not saying that name, but the Moncton Wildcats were the best team, so luckily we did make the postseason, and now we have to play through if we even want a shot at the Memorial Cup. Taking a look at Pekka Pasta, he went 30, 13, and 4, 6 shutouts, and a 924 save percentage. Honestly thought it would be a little bit better than that, but I mean, for a 99 18-year-old, I guess I can be okay with it. Only played 47 games. He probably should have been starting the entire year, to be honest. We didn't even have the most wins by any goalie in the entire queue. It was Jacob Steinman who had 40. We only had 30, so he literally had 10 more wins than us, and for shutouts, he would also beat us there with 9. Not a great start for Pekka Pasta. Maybe he might fall in the draft now because of this, as the Halifax Mooseheads will have to play the Quebec Ramparts in round number 1 of the postseason. We got rid of the Ramparts in 4 games in the first round, got rid of the Cataracts in the second round, and then the CB Eagles in round number 3, and now we face the Moncton Wildcats in the QMJHL finals. Unfortunately, we would end up losing to the Wildcats in 6 games in the Q finals, and they are off to the Memorial Cup, unfortunately for Halifax. And Pekka Pasta, our playoff run is finished, as the Calgary Hitmen would go on and win the Memorial Cup here in NHL 24, and now Pekka Pasta will move on, and we will be spinning the wheel to see which team he will be joining. Alright, so here we are on the wheel. Every single team in the entire NHL is on here. Whatever team we land on, that is the team that we have to stay our entire career with, as Pekka Pasta will be getting drafted there, and we will cover his entire career in the NHL. And we are going to have to play for the Buffalo Sabres, a team that has not made the postseason in almost 20 years at this point. I think it's 12, but it's pretty close if you ask me. Now, the good news is they do simulate very well in this game and have a lot of young guys who can grow to a very high potential. So there he is, LaPecca Pasta in a Buffalo Sabres uniform. And I'm not going to lie, he actually looks pretty clean. I mean, the pads fit, the mask is pretty nasty, and he is trying to lead this Sabres team to multiple Stanley Cups. I mean, obviously, I know that we are very, very young, but we do have some very key pieces who are not that old, like Tage Thompson, who already is an 87 overall. We got Zach Benson, Dylan Cousins, who grows to a very high overall, Jack Quinn, Alex Tuck. Now, defensively, we are pretty loaded. We got Bowen Byram with Darlene, and then we have Owen Power, who is only 20 years old. This dude can grow to like a 90 overall. Darlene already is a 90, and of course, in goal, a 99 overall Pekka Pasta, only 18 years of age, and we got Ukko-Pekka Luukkonen as our backup. Also, Devin Levi in the system, who ultimately could become trade bait if I want to move him, considering we do know our starter of the future, our starter for the entire video. And now it is time to build the greatest defensive team of all time. Now, I also threw on the sim scoring engine to low to make sure Pekka Pasta's stats are as good as possible. He's still going to be facing a lot of shots, but hopefully he will be stopping more than ever, and we're just going to try to build a nasty decor around him, the best defensive team of all time, to help boost his stats even more. So it is now time to go ahead and simulate Pekka Pasta's entire career in the NHL. So I'm going to be going ahead and making my first trade right off the back. We got Kulik, a second, third, and a fourth for Pavel Mintyukov. 3 years left on his rookie deal, and then we're going to lock him up long-term as we are trying to build the most lethal decor of all time. So let's see if this trade will go through, and it has been rejected. Totally unwilling. Instead, I will slot in a first-round pick, 2029 first for Pavel Mintyukov, and we got the trade to go through. Now, also turning the scoring on low will make the goalie simulate better, and in turn make them ask for a larger contract, which should help us in the long run, considering teams will probably end up overpaying for goalies who are not as good as they actually are. And we are still going to be chilling with a 99 Pekka Pasta on our squad for the next 20 years. Now, surprisingly, at the end of the year, Buffalo will win 47 games, losing 31, 4 in overtime, second in our division with 98 points, only behind Tampa Bay. And I mean, here are the best teams in the NHL. Edmonton was up there, the Rangers, Vancouver, Carolina, and Dallas. This is where it's going to hurt. We're not going to have a lot of high-scoring players in the simulation. I mean, Tage Thompson led our team with 34 goals and 60 points on the season. But if we do take a look at Pekka Pasta, 37 wins, 22 losses, 4 overtimes, 7 shutouts with a 942 save percentage alongside a 191 GAA as a rookie, 65 games played. That is an amazing start to his career. Hopefully ready to break all records in the NHL. Taking a look at the entire league, Thatcher Demko had 48 wins and a 925 save percentage. Igor Shesterkin was up there. Stuart Skinner had a good year. Obviously, Pekka Pasta was one of the better goalies, but if we take a look at shutouts, Igor will lead with 11 on the year. So, I mean, if Pasta wants to take home Vezinas during his career, he's really going to have to show up. And now in the first round of the playoffs, we are going to be playing the Toronto Maple Leafs, so that should be an easy Game 7 victory. Well, unfortunately, we did not even get to Game 7 as we got absolutely pelted 4 straight games. I mean, we scored, 3 goals? In the 4 games in the series? That is crazy. And shout out to the Vancouver Canucks going all the way, sweeping Florida in the Stanley Cup Finals to capture their very first in franchise history. Now, the problem was Pekka Pasta was a rookie in the postseason, and he did not do very well. I mean, an 899 save percentage is pretty rough, and 4 straight losses of getting pelted. Rope Hintz is going to take home the Ted Lindsay and Hart Trophy. The Art Ross and Maurice Richard will go to Nate Dogg. The Cale Makar will win the Norris. The Conn Smythe will go to Brock Besser, while Pekka Pasta wins the Calder and the Vezina Trophy as a rookie. And the Selke will end up going to Sidney Crosby of the Pittsburgh Penguins. All right, I just realized that Devin Levi's trade potential is literally through the roof. He's got franchise medium potential as a goalie, so we're giving up him a first, second, third. Matthew Savoie for Mr. Connor Bedard. Bedsy from the Blackhawks. Let's see if this will go through, and it has been rejected. Now, I realize that Devin Levi's trade value is absolutely through the roof right now. He's a franchise medium goalie at 22 years old. I think he's an 80 overall. So we're going to be giving up a first, second, and Matthew Savoie for Simashev and Logan Cooley from Arizona. That was an absolutely no-brainer for the Coyotes. Now the Utah Hockey Club, as we got rid of our backup goalie, we do not need him. We also locked up Ukko-Pekka Luukkonen. Now, as we head into year number 2, we got Tage Thompson, only an 88 overall. A lot of these forwards probably won't grow to the same extent, considering they're not putting up monster numbers. But I mean, Zach Benson is an 85, Cousins 84. Jack Quinn is up there. We picked up Logan Cooley. He should be good as well. And then we have JJ on that second line. Defensively, this is what I'm trying to build, the greatest decor of all time. We got Power, Dahlin, Bowen Byram with Mintyukov, and then we have Johnson and Samuelson. I will round out that top 6. Hopefully we can have an 86, 87 there. And in goal, Pekka Pasta, 99 overall with an 85 backup in Ukko-Pekka Luukkonen. But I mean, we all know who the starter of the Buffalo Sabres is. Pekka Pasta will probably play 65 to 70 games. Maybe even some seasons as we get later on in the video, I can end up making him or forcing him to play the entire season. It might make his stats go a little bit lower, but I mean, the wins would be up there. The shutouts will probably be even better. Now, for some reason, the Buffalo Sabres will have a massive regression down to 37 wins from 47. That is 10 less than we had last season. Also, we only had 80 points, not even close to making the postseason. As the Florida Panthers were the best team, winning 56 games, followed by Vegas, Edmonton, Dallas, and Ottawa. Now, at the bottom, were we one of the worst teams? I mean, yeah, we were down there. next to the New York Islanders, the Montreal Canadiens. San Jose was bad, only winning 26 games. Rasmus Dahlin led our team with 48 points and a minus 15. Cousins at 47. Yeah, a lot of our players really did not perform that well, but that is because goalies are absolutely dominating. But Pekka Past, I mean, 29 wins, 29 losses, 7 shutouts in a bad season for him is like a .923 save percentage, so I can't really get mad at that if I'm being honest. Taking a look at the entire NHL, Bobrovsky had the most wins at 49. And for the most shutouts, it would also go to Bob, so he's probably going to win the Vezina. The New York Rangers would end up taking home the Stanley Cup, sweeping the Winnipeg Jets in the Stanley Cup Finals. The Dog will win the Ted Lindsay, Art Ross, and Hart Trophy. Matthews, the Maurice Richard, the Norris will go to Cale Makar. The Conn Smythe to Adam Fox, as Aiden Hill will actually win the Vezina. I was not expecting that, and the Selke will go to Crosby yet again. Now, moving along offensively, we still have Cooley, Thompson, and Benson on that first line. We somehow signed Steven Stamkos in the offseason. Cousins is up to an 86 overall now. JJ's okay. Defensively, taking a look defensively, I am going to put Mintyukov with Dahlin on that first pair, and then we have Hoka-Yarju alongside Bowen Byram, and then our bottom pairing D is fine. And luckily, Pekka Past did not fall whatsoever. Still a 99 overall. Now, I did make sure to qualify all our upcoming RFAs in Pavel Mintyukov, Logan Cooley, and Zach Benson. They all wanted a contract extension, so hopefully they did sign it. And we locked them up long-term on a very long deal, as we are 6-1 to start the year. Not even a victory yet. This is crazy, man. Every time I do a simulation, Buffalo dominates and ultimately ends up winning the Stanley Cup in the first 5 seasons. But now, for some reason, since I am controlling them, we are just going to be absolutely horrible and shit the bed. Now, despite the fact that we did win 44 games and had 90 points, we were 2 points back of making the postseason. So yet again, we are going to have to miss the playoffs, as Toronto is the best team in our division, and for the entire NHL, it was somehow the Pittsburgh Penguins, who were a very old team, winning 52 games. Edmonton was up there. Colorado had a good season. Toronto, St. Louis. At the bottom, we do have the San Jose Sharks, who are building. They'll be a very scary team in 4 or 5 seasons. Just not quite yet, obviously. Zach Benson was our leading scorer with 51 points, followed by Dahlin, who had 47. Logan Cooley was up there. JJ had 43. Tage Thompson was absolutely horrible. And for Pekka Pasta, 39 wins, 3 shutouts, and a .933 save percentage. So that is all that matters, is that Pekka Pasta has the best stats possible, so we can compare at the end of his career if he is the greatest goaltender of all time. Joseph Wall will lead all goalies and wins with 41. Pekka Pasta was not far behind with 39 on a very bad Buffalo team for shutouts. Oh my God, Kochetkov had 12 on the year. Also a .932 save percentage. If we take a look at the save percentage, Aiden Hill had the best as a starter with a .937. Wedgwood didn't play enough games. Igor had a .934. And the Edmonton Oilers would go on. Oh my God, this is 3 years in a row we have had a sweep in the Stanley Cup Finals. These finals have not been competitive, dominating the Rangers to win their first Stanley Cup in the McDavid era. Austin Matthews will win all the major individual awards. Cale Makar, the Norris, the Conn Smythe will go to Draisaitl. Aiden Hill, the Vezina, and the Selke again for 3rd season in a row. It will go to Crosby. Now, there are a lot of good free agents available, especially Jack Eichel, a 92 overall player, but we only have 5.3 in cap space, so we can't really go after anybody. I'm going to let the computers cook a little bit. Obviously, I will be making trades here and there to sort things out, but at the end of the day, it is up to the CPU to build a good roster around Pekka Pasta. I will be helping out, adding defense, of course, but I mean, we're pretty much locked up our D-core basically for the next 10 seasons. We are still rolling with the same first line with Thompson, Benson, and Cooley. Dylan Cousins can be our second line center. We got Ante Kopitar as our third line center, 82 overall at 39 years of age. Mintyukov and Dahlin, great pairing. We got Byram alongside Owen Power. That should be good too, 88 overalls. And then in goal, if we take a look, Pekka Pasta still a 99 overall at 21 years of age, and so far, I mean, he's been great throughout his NHL career, but hopefully we can get some playoff success, start winning some playoff games. Even making the playoffs would be a positive. Also, sadly, I did wake up today, scrolled on Twitter, and dear God, all this sketch stuff is crazy. I mean, it is all over my timeline as soon as I woke up. I was not expecting all that first thing in the morning, but here we are. What's up, brother? Finally, the Buffalo Sabres are living up to their potential. 44 wins, 20 27 losses, 11 in overtime. The best team in the Atlantic and for the entire NHL. It was the Oilers winning 56 games. Obviously, we were top 7, so we had a very good year. Calgary was up there. They have Shoresy on their squad. Winnipeg was good, New Jersey, the Vancouver Canucks, and the Dallas Stars. Cousins is our leading scorer with 58 points. JJ had 21 goals, 46 points. Logan Cooley was up there. Ante Kopitar at 40 years old pretty much was one of our better players. And if we take a look, Pekka Pasta, 37 wins, 10 losses in overtime, 6 shutouts, and a .932 save percentage. And I mean, the wins are not the highest, but that is due to the fact that we are not a good team. I'm sure once we do get better, that Pekka Pasta will become a much better winning goaltender. But I mean, the save percentage is great. He's racking up some shutouts here and there. Skin Daddy, Stuart Skinner will have the most wins by any goalie at 46, followed by Ottinger's 41, Hellebuck had 40, Dustin Wolf was up there, Pekka Pasta, of course, had 37. And for the shutout side, it will go to Logan Thompson and Dustin Wolf, tying at 9 as they both rocked a .938 save percentage. Now that we are back in the playoffs, we do have to play the Tampa Bay Lightning in round number 1. At this point, they should be a little bit older in 2027, so maybe we do have a shot at beating them. And for the second straight time in the postseason, we are going to get our asses swept. So Pekka Pasta has not won a playoff game yet in his entire NHL career. He has only played in 8 playoff games and has lost every single one of them. And the sweeping streak will continue as the Edmonton Oilers yet again sweep the New York Rangers in the Stanley Cup Finals. I don't know what's going on, why every finals matchup is literally a sweep and non-competitive whatsoever. Unfortunately, right now, it does seem like Pekka Pasta is a regular season goaltender. If we take a look at his playoff stats, they're pretty bad, an .879 save percentage, and he's allowing 4 goals against per game. Draisaitl will win the Ted Lindsay and Hart Trophy. The Art Ross, the McKinnon, Matthews, the Maurice Richard, Cale Makar, the Norris, the Conn Smythe will go to Nugent Hopkins, which honestly is a little bit surprising. Pekka Pasta will win his second Vezina, and the Selke will go to Barkov. All right, we are getting rid of Ukko-Pekka Luukkonen because we do have an 85 overall 22-year-old goaltender who still is very young. We're going to try to get a first-round pick from the Arizona Coyotes. I don't know if this will go through. Totally unwilling. Instead, I will settle for a second-round pick for Ukko-Pekka Luukkonen straight up. They still do not want to take that, so we'll give up a 3rd, 4th, and a 5th-round pick. Let's see, will this go through? And it has. Pekka Pasta is still a 99 overall, and this backup, 23 years old, Leninen, is an 87 already, so we got rid of Luukkonen. Obviously, our offensive core pretty much is the same. Cousins is up to a 90, as well as Cooley. Maybe I might throw Dylan Cousins on that first line. I'm going to leave him in the second line. The rest of our forward core is good. Now, defensively, we still have Mintyukov with Dahlin, Simashev alongside Power, and then we have Byram and Samuelson as our D-core. Now, Buffalo moving along is still going to be a pretty good team. 43, 33, and 6, 92 points. The last team in the Atlantic to make the postseason. For the entire NHL, Florida was the best team, winning 52 games. The Devils were up there. Winnipeg, Edmonton was good. Detroit and Calgary. Cousins will lead our team in scoring with 49 points. Cooley had 48. Owen Power was pretty decent. JJ was okay. Tage Thompson, I mean, he did have 24 goals. And taking a look, Pekka Pasta, 37 wins, 23 losses, 6 in overtime, 11 shutouts, and a .936 save percentage. Probably his best season of his career so far. If we take a look, I mean, 11 shutouts and the best save percentage of his career as well, outside of his rookie year. But I mean, it's pretty similar. The 11 shutouts kind of take the cake, in my opinion. For the entire league, Spencer Knight will have the most wins at 46. Sam Casa was up there. Actually, it's Sebastian Casa, not Sam Casa. Swayman was good. Jake Ottinger was up there, Skinner. And if we take a look at the shutouts, Pekka Pasta will dominate, leading with 11. With also a .936 save percentage, as the Sabres will play the Florida Panthers in round number 1. And finally, not only does Pekka Pasta win his very first playoff game 3-2, but also his first playoff series 4-2 over the Florida Panthers, beat them in 6 games. As we now are going to play the Montreal Canadiens in the second round, also beat them in 6 games, and now we move on to the conference finals to end up playing the New Jersey Devils, who of course by this time we're 5 years in, have a very good roster. So 4 more wins, and then we make the Stanley Cup Finals. Can we do it? And unfortunately, we would end up getting dominated by the Devils in 5 games in the conference finals. I mean, they beat us 6-5 one game, 5-1 another game. We were just too young and inexperienced to win, as the Devils would eventually go on and win the Stanley Cup. Finally, the opposing team, or the losing team, wins a game in the finals, 4-1 New Jersey over Vancouver. And finally, Pekka Pasta has a very good playoff run. A 9-6-2 record isn't the greatest, but a 930 save percentage and a 233 GAA is very good. Matthews will win the Ted Lindsay, Maurice Richard, Art Ross and Hart Trophy, the Norris to Quinn Hughes, the Conn Smythe to Jesper Bratt. Again, Pekka Pasta will win the Vezina and the Selke to Nico Hischier. Now a member of the Nashville Predators. Pekka Pasta, now at 23 years old, still will be a 99 overall as we have a 90 overall backup. Looking at our forward core, I mean, it's still not great, but forwards develop a little differently because of the sim engine now. Defensively, I am hoping we get a little better D-core. I mean, Mintyukov can go on that first line, and then we have Power and Byram on the second pair, and then finally Johnson and Samuelson to finish it off. Hopefully not finish me off, though. Pause. No diddy. Unfortunately, the Sabres are going to have a very bad regular season, 37, 37, and 8 being very mid. I mean, we missed out on the playoffs by like 5 points, 6 points, so we can't really say that we were close. Montreal was the best team in our division, and Vancouver, 55 wins, the President's Trophy winning team, followed by Chicago, who obviously now Bedard in his prime, they'll be dangerous. Montreal was up there, Florida, and the Devils. We finally have a good playoff run, and now we can't even make the postseason. Logan Cooley at 51 points, Cousins 47, Benson was up there, Power. I mean, I'm not really expecting a lot of offensive output, but Pekka Pasta, 34 wins, 27 losses, 8 in overtime, 5 shutouts, and a 931 save percentage. A very good season yet again. Lukas Dostal had the most wins at 42 by any goalie, and the most shutouts will go to Thatcher Demko and Joseph Wall, tying at 8 apiece. Finally, the Toronto Maple Leafs will break the curse, winning their first Stanley Cup since '67 as they dominated Vancouver in 5 games in the finals. Surprisingly, Quinn Hughes will win the Ted Lindsay, Hart Trophy, and the Norris, the Art Ross to Bedard, Matthews, the Maurice Richard, the Conn Smythe will go to William Nylander. Pekka Pasta again 3 seasons in a row with the Vezina, and the Selke will go to Frondell. Obviously, Pekka Pasta still a 99 overall, just entering the prime of his career at 24 years of age. Offensively, this team is still pretty decent. I mean, we still have the same players who really have not been producing. Logan Cooley's our best player at a 90. We also have Dylan Cousins at an 89 defensively. I don't know why they always insist on Mintyukov on the bottom line pairing, but I'm going to put him up on the first line with Dahlin, and then we have Power Byram, and then finally Johnson and Samuelson. Now, yet again, the Buffalo Sabres are going to miss the postseason. 87 points as they went 39, 34, and 9. I mean, Boston made it in with 90 points, but I guess for some reason we are just not simulating well in this game right now. Shoresy and the Flames were the best team in the entire league, winning 51 games, followed by Toronto. Chicago was up there, Vancouver, and St. Louis. At the bottom, we do have the Ottawa Senators, the San Jose Sharks, still in the Pittsburgh Penguins. Well, I mean, after Crosby are going to be absolutely cooked. Dahlin will lead our team with only 6 goals and 55 points. Logan Cooley had 53. Mintyukov was up there. He hasn't been great. Zach Benson had 43. Cousins 43. And DeLorio, who the hell is this guy? Oh my God, Alessandro DeLorio, I guess a Mexican descent player. Actually, no, he's from Canada. Okay, he's an 84 overall, 22-year-old. Maybe could be something good in a few seasons. But for Pekka Pasta, 33 wins, 5 shutouts, and a 927 save percentage. So honestly, a little lower on the end of his career stats. If we take a look here, he usually at least rocks like a 930. So a bad season by him, 25 years old. Still has a lot of time to go. Yet again, Joseph Wall will have the most wins by a goalie with 43, and for the most shutouts, it will go to Jordan Binnington at 36 years of age, having 10 on the season. After losing a few of the Stanley Cup Finals, the Rangers finally get it done, beating Anaheim in Game 7 of the Finals. I believe that is their 2nd Stanley Cup in franchise history, maybe 3rd. Matthews again will rake in all the awards. The Norris will go to Cale Makar. The Conn Smythe to Graf. Pekka Pasta somehow, surprisingly, is still going to win the Vezina, and the Selke will go to Frondell yet again. Arizona was in 10th place for the draft lottery, but somehow ended up winning the entire thing. That is crazy. That is what we need. We need a 1st overall pick in which we can build our forward core around. Now, in the offseason, probably our biggest pickup, or actually our only pickup, was Kent Johnson, 88 overall. We still have Cooley, who's a 91. Dylan Cousins is still very good. We actually re-signed Tage Thompson. Benson has not really grown whatsoever. He started out at like an 85, and now, for some reason, he's an 84. Defensively, we still have Mintyukov. alongside Dahlin, and then Power and Byram. And in goal, a 99 overall in the prime of his career, Pekka Pasta hopefully can lead the Buffalo Sabres to a Stanley Cup. Yet again, another season of the Buffalo Sabres missing the playoffs. 87 points, so we were not even close to Florida as we won 40, 35, and 7. Toronto was the best team in our division, winning 49 games, and for the entire NHL, it was the Vancouver Canucks. Anaheim was very good. They were up there. Obviously, Toronto, the Devils, who won a cup a few years ago, Tampa Bay, and Boston. Logan Cooley led our team with 62 points, followed by DeLorio, who had 58. Cousins was up there, Kent Johnson. Now, I have a little bit of an itch to up the scoring tendency in the simulation, but then again, I do not want to mess with this guy. Pekka Pasta, 7 shutouts, 31 wins, and only a .917 save percentage. So it looks like his stats are going down as he ages. I mean, the dude was comfortably rocking a .933 for most of his career. But now later on, as Buffalo is struggling even more, my stats are down to a .917, the worst of my entire career. Philip Gustafsson will have the most wins by any goalie with 42, and for shutouts, it will go to Aiden Hill, who had 8 on the season, tying with Samuel Montembeault, who's 34 years old. Both of these goaltenders are putting up over a .930 save percentage. So Pekka Pasta, you do have some work to do, buddy. You cannot be that bad with your save percentage. And the New Jersey Devils yet again will go on, and I believe to win their second Stanley Cup of the video so far, beating the Oilers in 6 games in the finals. Austin Matthews continues to dominate the awards. The Norris will go to Quinn Hughes, the Conn Smythe to Jesper Bratt. Montembeault will win the Vezina, breaking Pekka Pasta's streak, and the Selke will go to Adam Fantilli of the Blue Jackets. So we are in the offseason right now, and I am jumping in, trying to grab this D-man who's an 87 overall at 20 years of age. 2 years left on his deal for a prospect D-man and a few picks. I did throw in a first rounder to make this go through, and they are totally unwilling. I will throw in another prospect to make this trade go through, and luckily it did, as we have bolstered our D-core even more, because I'm trying to make Pekka Pasta get back into his prime. Bro is falling off right now, even though he's only 26 years old. Next guy I'm going after is Faith from the Washington Capitals, another D-man who's very young. 3 years left on his rookie deal, so we don't have to sign him for a few seasons. For Simashev, Benson, and 2 second-round picks. And the trade has been totally unwilling, so maybe I will slot in a 2036 first rounder to see if this trade will go through, and luckily it did. Washington considers it a done deal. Maybe we did give up a little bit much, but at the end of the day, I'm building for a tenacious defensive core. Thank God Pekka Pasta did not drop down after the bad season he had. He's still a 99, and taking a look at Buffalo Sabres roster here, honestly, it might be the best roster of the video. Our forward core is looking very, very filthy. Cousins and Cooley. I am going to put Cooley on that first pair, or on the first line, and then defensively, take a look at this. We'll go Power, Dahlin, and then we'll go Mintyukov. Actually, no, Mintyukov, you can stay down there. And we'll go Byram, Kavanagh, and then Benoit and Pavel Mintyukov. Now, don't worry, I did remember to throw in Zachary Faith, who's only 18 years old, 80 overall already. He doesn't really fit on that third D pair, so maybe, oh my god, he doesn't really fit anybody or anywhere, to be honest. Instead, I'll throw Mintyukov on the second pair, and then have Bowen Byram maybe take this rookie under his wing and hopefully help him grow to a very high overall. Finally, the Buffalo Sabres are back in the playoffs, 42, 32, and 8, 92 points on the season. Third in our division for the entire league. Vancouver damn near won 60 games, being the President's Trophy winning team. The Devils were up there, Colorado, Anaheim, and Chicago. Logan Cooley was great yet again, 74 points. DeLorio had 68, also 38 goals. Kent Johnson was good. Dylan Cousins. Everybody finally is breaking out. And for Pekka Pasta, playing 63 games, 32, 26, and 5, 4 shutouts, and oh my god, his stats were horrible. Why on earth is he not playing well as he's aging? He's only 27 years old. This is literally the prime of his career. He should be being even better than he is at the start of his career, but for some reason, his save percentage has gone down. Not looking good for Pekka Pasta. Trey Augustine will lead all goalies and wins with 47. Pekka Pasta was nowhere to be found, to be honest, and on the shutout side, it will go to Stuart Skinner. and Sebastian Casa, 8 shutouts apiece, tying both of these guys. Skinner also had a .932. Get the hell out of here. As the Sabres will have to play the Boston Bruins, being the first time back in the postseason for at least a couple years. I mean, we were gone for like 3-4 seasons of just straight up missing it year after year. And yet again, another first round exit as the Boston Bruins beat us in 6 games in the first round. I mean, we're just not there yet. For some reason, this Buffalo Sabres squad will not simulate well. The San Jose Sharks will get the job done over the Penguins as they beat them in 5 games in the Stanley Cup Finals. Pasta was not good whatsoever in the 6 games in the first round. Only a .904 save percentage and a .315 GAA. Quinn Hughes will dominate, winning the Ted Lindsay, the Art Ross, the Hart Trophy, and the Norris Trophy, as Kotkaniemi will win the Maurice Richard. Now for the Conn Smythe, it will go to Corbin, the Vezina to Stuart Skinner, and the Selke will go to Fantilli. Now in the offseason, we're going out and getting another defenseman, Brock Faber, who's an 87 overall, signed for 2 more years for a prospect, or actually a backup goalie who really I want to get off the roster so Pekka Pasta can start more games. We'll give up a prospect and a very old Tage Thompson. Let's see. And the Boston Bruins fans are going to be cheering on the streets. I don't know about all that, brother, but I mean, hey, good trade for Buffalo. A decent trade for the Boston Bruins, I guess. So we got rid of our backup goalie who was a 90 overall, a very good goalie himself. Pekka Pasta now should be able to start and hopefully get back to a .930 save percentage. He's still a 99 overall. Offensively, we did lose a little bit in the offseason. Maybe we're not as good as we were last season, but defensively, take a look at this decor. We got Mintyukov, Dahlin, Kavanagh, Faber, Power, and Byram. That is loaded. Our weakest defender is Brock Faber, who is an 87 overall. Now, the Buffalo Sabres might have won their most games. They have all video, I think, with 49, but unfortunately, we were 4th in the Atlantic. We did have 31 regulation losses, 2 in overtime, 100 points. Taking a look at the entire league, the Devils with Jack Hughes and Luke Hughes are both dominating. The Red Wings are very good. Vancouver was up there. Chicago, obviously, with Bedsy, and the New York Islanders. Kent Johnson will lead our team in scoring. He had 24 goals, 69 points. Cousins had a 30-goal season, as well as Deloria. Logan Cooley was good. Ostland was okay, I guess. And for Pekka Pasta, 44 wins, 8 shutouts, and a .937 save percentage. Finally getting his stats back up there. Also, 44 wins might be the most he's ever had in his career, considering we have not been a very good team this entire video. Augustine and Pasta will both tie for the lead in wins at 44, and for shutouts, it will be a 2-way tie between Pasta and Virtanen, so Pekka Pasta should be able to take home that Vezina at the end of the season, as we are going to be playing the Detroit Red Wings in the very first round of the postseason. Now, before we go ahead any further, I do want to hop into a few games, maybe mess around, maybe even play as Pekka Pasta, but this got to be like high-profile games. I'm talking like Stanley Cup final games. I'm not hopping into a random first-round matchup because our backs are against the wall. We should be able to at least make the finals. And then maybe if we're up against the wall, or maybe even if we have a 3-2 series lead and the Stanley Cup in the building, then it would be a great opportunity to hop in. Luckily, we did dominate the Red Wings in 5 games in the first round, as we now face the Tampa Bay Lightning in round number 2. Got rid of them in a 4-game sweep, and now back in the conference finals, this time again facing the New Jersey Devils. The last time we were in the conference finals, we lost to them, so hopefully things can be different now. Alrighty, so here we are, game 7 in New Jersey. We are leading by 1, and now it is time for Pekka Pasta to shut the door. I pretty much decided that this is a legacy game for Pekka Pasta. We got 4:40 left to go in the third period, trying to advance to my very first Stanley Cup Finals in my NHL career. Logan Cooley, please just kill the clock. Whatever you got to do. Cooley coming in. Logan Cooley, what a save by the New Jersey netminder Gavin coming down. Oh no, is that Jordan Gavin? Oh no, Jesper Bratt. Jesper Bratt almost sniped that home. I gotta lock in here. I need to lock in. Bowen Byram, 2 minutes to go in the third period, the biggest third period of my life. Jack Quinn, great save by Augustine, the guy who had the same amount of wins as I did in the regular season. This is literally the best and second best goalie in the entire world. A massive draw win. Mintyukov to Byram, shot on net, doesn't get on net as less than a minute to go. Game 7 of the conference finals. Can we get a revenge? And finally, for the first time, oh no, do not get ahead of myself. Holtz coming in. Holtz, great save. No, cover that Pekka Pasta, cover the puck. Actually, screw it, play it. I'm playing it. I do not even care. Play that puck. Empty net. by the Devils. Up to Bowen Byram. What on earth are you doing? Oh my God. This is what I mean by the computer AI is absolutely trash in this game. I mean, Bowen Byram, I know he's a D-man, all alone on the breakaway with an empty net. Why not just skate the puck in? Instead, fuck it, right off the blue line. From the blue line, actually, I'm just going to rip an absolute howitzer that goes over the net. I mean, goddamn, dude, you couldn't even, like, put it on the ice, for God's sake. Misses it. Almost blew that game for us. Luckily, we did get the empty netter to fall, though. Less than 5 seconds to go as the Buffalo Sabres, for the first time in the Pekka Pasta era, will be advancing to the Stanley Cup Finals. It only has taken us 10 years to get here, but thank God we have finally made it. And now in the Stanley Cup Finals, we will be facing the Vancouver Canucks, so probably a very good team at this point in the sim. But is it time for Pekka Pasta finally to go on and win his first Stanley Cup of his illustrious career? I honestly don't even know if I said that word right. All right, so here it is for all the marbles. Game 7 of the Stanley Cup Finals. We are currently leading by 2. A 4-2 lead for the Buffalo Sabres. Oh, Goalie in the middle. Great save by Bottinger. And we are like 9.5 minutes away from possibly lifting the Stanley Cup in Vancouver and possibly having riots go on again. Brock Besser, easy save by Pekka Pasta. I am locking in. There is zero chance that I am selling this game. No way, no how. 10 long years. Oh no, Olofsson. Over to Goalie. Rebound. There it is. Kent Johnson will get the rebound as the Buffalo Sabres have a 3-goal lead in the Stanley Cup Finals. In the final game available, what an amazing goal and what a lead. A 3-goal lead. I mean, there's zero chance I'm selling it. It's wrapped up. Book it, because Pekka Pasta does not choke like the Toronto Maple Leafs. But I mean, we still have like 7.5 minutes here to lock in. Oh no, oh, that was a dangerous ass cross crease. No, behind the net, great save. There we go, Byram. Skate that puck out, buddy. Move it up, okay, or skate it. Take the ice. Over to Kent Johnson again. Cousins and Johnson are absolutely cooking right now. 5:49 remaining in the third. A 2-goal, or actually 3-goal lead from the Sabres, as we just pretty much have to kill the clock out, and the Stanley Cup is ours. It is in the building in Vancouver, and we know that crowd is not going to be happy whatsoever. Oh, no. Lock in. Easy save from Pekka Pasta. I will play that puck. I'm not scared. I ain't scared. I ain't worried. Oh, here we go. Johnson over to Goalie. Logan Goalie. No. 3 minutes. Oh, my God. Here we go. I've been waiting 10 long years and probably about 2 hours into this video. Over Quinn Hughes. Over Kuzmenko. Great save from Pekka Pasta. Locking in yet again. Less than a minute to go in Game 7. Kakinen couldn't get into the zone. 25 to go. Ostland just kill the clock. Cousins, rebound is there. I don't even care. We don't need another goal. We do not need one. Here we go. 13 seconds remaining in Game 7. A 5-2 lead for the Buffalo Sabres. As I believe for the first time in franchise history, maybe not, who knows, it doesn't even matter. For the first time in Pekka Pasta's NHL career, he is a Stanley Cup champion, as the Sabres have gone all the way for the first time in this video, beating the Vancouver Canucks in Game 7 of the Stanley Cup Finals. We really have to watch our way out, honestly. The riots in Vancouver are going to be absolutely nuts, as we prove to be the better team and have the better goaltender in the entire series, in the entire league, as Logan Goalie will steal the Conn Smythe. 8 goals, 27 points for him. I don't know. I guess I'll have to check and see what Pekka Pasta was rocking, but I mean, a 99 overall goalie with a low scoring engine on. I feel like I maybe carried this team, but winning a Conn Smythe as a goalie is so goddamn hard in this game. There it is, the Stanley Cup about to be raised to the Buffalo Sabres, as our captain Rasmus Dahlin will come and collect it. You already know who he's going to hand it off to second. The starting goalie, the face of the franchise, the backbone of the team, the heart and soul of this squad. Le Pekka Pasta, there it is, for the first time in his career, being able to raise the Stanley Cup, as I mean, nobody will ever be able to take this from him. He is forever a Stanley Cup champion. Now, for the postseason, Pekka Pasta was amazing. 16 wins, 6 losses, 1 in overtime, 2 shutouts, and a .935 save percentage, yet I did not win the Conn Smythe. So, clearly EA Sports definitely hates me and does not want to see me succeed. Nazar will win the Ted Lindsay and Hart Trophy, the Art Ross and Maurice Richard to Connor Bedard. Quinn Hughes will win the Norris, the Conn Smythe to Cooley. Pekka Pasta will win another Vezina, and the Selke will go to Nico Hischier. Moving along to year number 11, we pretty much brought back the same exact team. Cooley, your backup in the first line. Cousins is a 90. Obviously, Logan Cooley, the Conn Smythe winner. Defensively, we are still the best decor in the entire league. Let me shape them up nicely. And then in goal, a 99 overall, 28-year-old Pekka Pasta at the peak of his powers. Fresh off of a Stanley Cup, Buffalo will have their best season of the video, 50, 25-7 at the top of the Atlantic Division. And for the entire NHL, we were top 4, only behind Chicago, Colorado, and the Devils, who are pretty much our arch rivals at the moment. They get the second best goalie in the world. They have a very good team, multiple Stanley Cup winning team as well. Logan Cooley was our leading scorer, 23 goals, 62 points. Delorio was good. Kent Johnson had a good season, as well as Mintyukov and Cousins. And if we take a look at Pekka Pasta, 43, 20, and 5, 7 shutouts, and a .932 save percentage. Hopefully locking up the Vezina yet again. Ravensburg would have the most wins in the entire league, tied with Vernaski, both at 45. Then Pekka Pasta, who had only 2 less than them. But for shutouts, taking a look, Pasta, Dustin Wolf, and Jake Ottinger will all tie at 7 apiece. But me having the highest save percentage of the 3 at a .932. Now in the first round, the Buffalo Sabres will face the Carolina Hurricanes. Oh, typical EA Sports back at it again, just ruining my moment. Fresh off of a Stanley Cup, and we get swept in the first round the very next season. What the Pekka Pasta was no good. He was absolutely garbage. Only a .902 save percentage and a .328 GAA. And shout out to Vancouver getting the job done after losing to us last season. Game 7 finally went their way this time. I guess no riots in the streets of Vancouver. Gavin will take home the Ted Lindsay, Art Ross, and Hart Trophy. Savoie will win the Maurice Richard, the Norris to Luke Hughes, the Conn Smythe to Quinn Hughes. Funny enough, Pekka Pasta, the Vezina yet again, and the Selke will go to Nico Hischier. Now moving along offensively, honestly, we're a little bit of a worse team. We don't really have a great forward core outside of our first line. Defensively, we did lose Faber in the offseason, which obviously hurt us. But we still have Faith, Mintyukov, Kavanaugh, Power, and Byram. And in goal, a 99 overall Pekka Pasta has not wavered his entire career so far. Almost 30 years old, so he is getting up there in age. The Sabres are the most confusing team of all time. They don't know whether or not they want to be good, bad, or just mid. Like, I really don't understand it. 38 wins, 44 regulation losses, obviously missing the playoffs as the Chicago Blackhawks were the best team. They won 56 games. The Devils were up there, Calgary and Tampa Bay. Logan Cooley led our team, 54 points, a -18. I mean, pretty much everybody was a minus on our squad. Look at these minuses. Holy hell, all in the double digits. Somehow Mintyukov was actually a +15. That's crazy. And for Pekka Pasta, I mean, only 31 wins, only 3 shutouts, and a .918 save percentage. That is pretty rough. As Augustine will have the most wins by a goalie with 48, and for the most shutouts, it will also go to Augustine, who's probably going to end up taking home the Vezina, a .923 save percentage. And shout out to the Vegas LTIR cheaters for beating Tampa Bay in Game 7 of the Stanley Cup Finals. As we are now in a new age, a bunch of creative players winning all the awards. The Norris will go to Luke Hughes, the Conn Smythe to Leonard, the Vezina to Augustine, and the Selke will go to Fanodorov. Yeah, this is going to get very rough with my pronunciation. Despite the very bad season last year, Pekka Pasta still is a 99 overall, locked and loaded with all the X factors. Offensively on this team, I mean, we still have Cousins, Cooley, and Kent Johnson. A lot of young guys are starting to take over, not only on our team, but the entire league, as we have faith in Kavanaugh, Mintyukov, Byram, Power, and then Reuter. A pretty much not really a different decor outside. We did lose Dahlin and put in Reuter, who pretty much is a better version of him, also 26 years old, so I guess our decor is still absolutely loaded. The Buffalo Sabres are back in the postseason. 43 wins, 30 losses, 9 in overtime. Third in the Atlantic Division, and for the entire NHL, I mean, we were not top 8, but Chicago, dear God. 58 wins on the season. Vegas at 55, Calgary 50. Winnipeg was up there, as well as the Canucks. Ken Johnson will lead our team in scoring with 70, followed by Cooley 68. Hatlunin, I don't even honestly know. He had 60, also a 40-goal season, which is very nice. shutout. Delorio had 53, and if we take a look at Pekka Pasta, 40 wins, 21 losses, 7 in overtime, 5 shutouts, and back up to a 930 save percentage. As Diego will have the most wins by any goalie with 45, and for the most shutouts, it will also be a three-way tie between Diego, Arkhipov, and Glenn, as the Sabres will play the Tampa Bay Lightning in the first round of the postseason. The first round has not been nice to us in the Pekka Pasta era, losing yet again in 5 games to the Lightning, and predictably, Pasta was not very good, only a 901 save percentage and giving up over 3.5 goals per game. Vancouver yet again will go on and win a Game 7, beating the Toronto Maple Leafs in the Stanley Cup Finals. Lundell will take home the Ted Lindsay in the Hart Trophy. The Norris will go to Heinzler, and the Conn Smythe to Quinn Hughes yet again for the second time in his career. Pekka Pasta will win yet again another Vezina Trophy, and the Selke will go to Joseph. Pekka Pasta at 31 years of age is still a 99 overall. Taking a look at our offensive core here, I mean, we still have a great first line. Our second line's decent. Third and fourth line doesn't do us any favors. Defensively, still absolutely loaded. I mean, this D-core will be good for at least a few more seasons before guys start falling off. And the Buffalo Sabres are back to being absolutely ass. 7th in the Atlantic Division, 34 wins, 40 losses, 8 in overtime. We were not even close to making the postseason, as Chicago breaking the single season win record with 67 on the year, only 13 losses. Connor Bedard, what are you doing? Haltunen was really our only good player, 47 goals, 69 points, but was a minus 11. Ken Johnson had 60. Delorio had 59, and for Pekka Pasta, 25, 33, and 7, 5 shutouts, and a 920 save percentage, which I mean is not horrible. Augustine again will have the most wins by any goalie with 46. He's on a stacked New Jersey team, as Ravensburgen had 7 shutouts, tied for the most. And the best team of this entire video has been the Devils. It's only fitting they go on and win another Stanley Cup, beating St. Louis in Game 7 of the Finals. Connor Bedard will win the Ted Lindsay, Art Ross, and Hart Trophy. The Norris, the Heinzler, the Conn Smythe to Miles Wood, probably not. We're like 15 years into this. Boettinger will win the Vezina, and the Selke will go to Joseph yet again. Offensively, it seems like we are getting worse and worse by the season. We did pick up Will Smith, who's an 88 overall, but Logan Cooley now at 33 has dropped down to an 89. Defensively, we're also a lot worse than we used to be. Still have faith in Kavanagh as our top pair, and Pekka Pasta, who has now dropped down to a 96 overall, no longer a 99, 32 years old. A very young age to honestly start declining. Buffalo is still going to be absolutely sucking like Sketch was on Twitter. Pause. Having 34 wins, 39 losses, 9 in overtime, dead last in a division, as the Tampa Bay Lightning were the best team in the entire NHL, winning 56 games. Chicago was up there, New York, and Ottawa. Will Smith would actually lead our team in scoring with 67 points, followed by Haltunen, who had 66. Kent Johnson was up there, as well as Logan Cooley and Kavanagh. If we take a look at Pekka Pasta, undeniably the worst season of his career, 25 wins, 28 losses, 5 in overtime, 0 shutouts, and a 908 save percentage. Is this the end of Pekka Pasta as we know it? Ravensburgen had the most wins at 48, and for the most shutouts, it will go to Boettinger, who had 10. The nation's capital of Ottawa will go on and win the Stanley Cup, beating Bedard and the Blackhawks in Game 7 of the Finals. Absolutely 0 awards for Pekka Pasta. I don't believe he's winning the Vezina Trophy. Ravensburgen got it instead. Sadly, the best goalie of all time, Pekka Pasta, has dropped down to a 93 overall at 33 years of age. Only elite potential now, no longer franchise, as I mean, we are getting older. Offensively, the Buffalo Sabres are kind of cooked, not gonna lie. Defensively, I mean, we still have Kavanagh and Faith, who are a very good D pair, but outside of that, we're not great anymore. Now, I did not see this coming whatsoever. Buffalo will have their best season of the video. 52 wins, 21 losses, 9 in overtime at the top of the Atlantic, and at the top of the entire NHL. The very first time in this entire sim, New York was good, Chicago, Colorado, and Tampa Bay. We actually had a lot of offense this season. Delorio had 48 goals and 99 points. Will Smith had 94, Nemec 81, Cooley 65. 45. And for Pekka Pasta, 39 wins, 4 shutouts, and back up to a .932 save percentage at 34 years of age. Ravensbergen had the most wins at 45, and for the most shutouts, it will go also to him at 8. He did only have a .926 save percentage, so I don't know if he's going to get the Vezina. Maybe Pekka Pasta will get the Vezina. In the first round of the postseason, we are going up against the Detroit Red Wings. I swear there has never been a team that has gotten swept as much as this Buffalo Sabres squad has in the Pekka Pasta era. I mean, predictably, Pekka Pasta was not very good either, but how can he be good if the team in general was just not it whatsoever? We were literally the President's Trophy winning team, and we got swept in round number 1. And shout out to the Blackhawks going all the way, beating Toronto in Game 7 of the Stanley Cup Finals. Connor Bedard will take home the Ted Lindsay and the Hart Trophy. The Art Ross to Jack Hughes and Frondell. The Maurice Richard, the Norris will go to Sandin Pellikka. The Conn Smythe to McCamey on the Blackhawks. And no, Pekka Pasta will not win the Vezina Trophy. Pekka Pasta now still is a 93 overall, not what he used to be at 34 years of age, but still a great elite level caliber goaltender. Offensively, I think we're still very good. I mean, we won 52 games last season. Finally had a 90-point score. Defensively, I mean, we got a great top-line D pair. Outside of that, it looks kind of rough. Despite the fact that we did win 42 games, we were actually second last in our division. Oh my god, it looks like the Atlantic is just absolutely stacked. 87 points, 98 got in, so we were not even really that close. Colorado was the best team, winning 56 games, followed by the Montreal Canadiens. Winnipeg was very good. Columbus had a good season, surprisingly, and Tampa Bay as well. Delorio led our team with 31 goals and 73 points. Will Smith had 68. Adam Nemec had 67. Richie, 58. And if we take a look at Pekka Pasta, 31 wins, 24 losses, .911 save percentage, and 4 shutouts. So I guess this is where the standard of Pekka Pasta is at the moment. Versnaski led the NHL in wins with 46. Pasta was nowhere to be found. And for shutouts, it will go to Bottinger, tying alongside Versnaski. So one of these guys are probably going to end up winning the Vezina. I mean, a .931 save percentage, it might be him. Montreal would end up winning the Stanley Cup, beating the Arizona Coyotes in 6 games in the Stanley Cup Final. Shout out to Arizona, now known obviously as the Utah Hockey Club, for even making the goddamn finals. Larson will take home the Ted Lindsay, Maurice Richard, Art Ross, and Hart Trophy. The Norris will go to Cripps, the Conn Smythe to Cole Iserman, the Vezina to Versnaski, as Pekka Pasta will not win that, and the Selke Trophy yet again to Joseph. Heading into year 18, oh my god, Pekka Pasta has fallen off a cliff down to an 84 overall. Was he not like a 92, 93 last season? I swear to god. But I guess 35 is the age that goalies really fall off. I mean, offensively, we pretty much have the same exact team. It's an okay team offensively. Defensively, outside of Kavanaugh, we are not really that good. Another year passes by as the Buffalo Sabres are one of the worst teams in the division. 34, 41, and 7. 75 points as the Toronto Maple Leafs were the best team in the league, winning 53 games. Followed by Nashville, Vancouver was up there, Dallas, Winnipeg, and Chicago. Surprisingly, Will Smith was one of the more productive players that we've had over the course of the sim. 88 points on the season. He's 36 years old himself, so he's no young buck. Glorio had 65, Nemec 60, Jaeger 49, and for Pekka Pasta 22-28. 3 shutouts, only a .903 save percentage, so we are probably nearing the end here. He's no longer an elite level goaltender. And the Winnipeg Jets will go all the way, beating the Capitals in Game 7 of the Finals. Now, if we do end up returning next season for Pekka Pasta and he does not retire, I think I will go in Game 82 of the regular season and play that game just to say that I went in and played Pekka Pasta's final game in his NHL career. Hopefully he does come back. Who knows? He could honestly retire. He is up there in age. And luckily for us, we do not have a retirement in the future. And well, we're probably in the future, but not right now for Pasta, as he elected to come back for another season in the NHL. Now, this could honestly be Pekka Pasta's final season in the NHL. He's only a 78 overall minor backup goalie at the moment. 36 years of age, so he's not as old as some players are in this game. Maybe players do play longer. But at the end of the day, this could definitely be his final season. I will make him start in the NHL. He was down in the American Hockey League. Luckily, I brought him up. And for the final game of the regular season, I will hop in and play it, and hopefully make some big saves with the greatest goaltender of all time. All right, so here we are in what could be Pekka Pasta's final NHL game of his career. We're losing 4-0 to the Tampa Bay Lightning on home ice, so not a great showing for the fans, but I mean, Pekka Pasta is basically washed at this point. Probably even worse than a 78 now. I did not even check. I don't even know our record. I think we are in the postseason, so this might not even matter somehow, some way. With there we go. Cook snipes it home, and we get one on the board. We will not be shut out in Pekka Pasta's final game. Now, another main objective that I wanted to do in this game was maybe try to go for a goalie goal, perhaps. Maybe Tampa Bay will dump the puck in. I don't know. We are absolutely pelting them right now. Oh, I do not want to get too far ahead of myself, but Kavanaugh, there it is. Ooh, he was trying to snipe that low blocker. I see you, Kavanaugh. Back at the point again. Rip it, dude. There you go. He's fiending low blocker, but just cannot get it to go right now. Smith, back to the point again. We have full pressure. Nemec over Brizgalov. Is that pretty okay? We got maybe Brizgalov's kid on our team. That's cool. Nice hit there by Kavanaugh. Simone Nemec. 8:30 to go in this third period. I was hoping to get a goalie goal, but I mean, we're not even getting a chance. We're just all over them. Here we go. Dump that puck in, Tampa Bay, and let me go get it, please. Frondell, multiple time Selke winner coming in. Easy save from Pekka Pasta. Look at my energy already. It dropped right away. Like as soon as I made that save. Oh, around the bend. Around the bend. Just absolutely walk that D-man like a cone. Back to the point again. Smith in the middle. No. Sorquist will make the save. Now 5 minutes to go on the last career game of Pasta. No. I'm not getting beat short side. No way in hell. I can't let in a goal in my final regular season game. Rybikin coming in. Easy save. I'm going to play that though. Nowhere for the wicket. I'm not scared to play that puck. Why are they? I mean, they are up by 4 or up by 3. So I was going to say, why are they trapping? But Tampa Bay's trying to hold on to a lead here. Now, of course, if Pasta does not retire at the end of this season, I will look like an idiot for hopping into this game. But I guess it is what it is. This is the one game I'm allowed to hop into. And if Pekka Pasta does not retire, then I guess it is what it is. This is my farewell game of the greatest career a goalie has ever had for me. I mean, only one Stanley Cup, but the stats were absolutely incredible along the way. Definitely probably broke the wins record, I'd say. Rebound is there. Man, their goalie's flopping around like a fish and flopping. I'm not going to make a sketch joke. I've already made 2 throughout this video. I don't want to pile on to the dude. And there we go. Cook will put it home. And we're back to within 2. Maybe if there's more time in this game, we probably could come back. We are all over Tampa Bay. You never know, though. I mean, 2 minutes to go. We could get 2 quick ones and tie it up and maybe force overtime here with Tampa Bay. All I got to worry about is locking down Cook up to Leonard. Man, I've faced, what, 1 shot so far? I thought it was going to come in. Oh, my God, we're all over them. Pull the goalie. No, I want to stay into the net. Possibly get a shot at a goalie goal here, so I will not pull myself. If it was not the final game, I probably would. Morrison coming in. Morrison waiting. He's waiting for somebody to come in the middle. He's waiting for somebody to come so hard. Come on! 15 seconds to go. I can't even get a shot on net. Oh, my God. Vasilai coming in. I absolutely butchered that name. Great shot on net. 10 seconds to go in Pekka Pasta's final NHL career game. In the regular season, we still have the postseason, of course, but that will do it on the bookmark chapter of Pekka Pasta's career in the NHL. Now, despite the fact that we only had a 500 record, I mean, under 500, if you count our overtime losses, 37, 37, and 8, 82 points, we still snuck into the playoffs in the Atlantic Division. I guess our division was not really that great. For the entire NHL, Columbus damn near won 60 games, 125 points on the year. Another great season by Will Smith, 33 goals and 94 points. Delorio had 46 goals, 88 points. Nemec had 60. Vasily had 54. Kavanaugh only 54. This was a guy I brought in many, many years ago. Cook had 52. And for Pekka Pasta, played the entire season, actually put up decent stats, a 907 for 82 games played. I mean, he did only have 2 shutouts, but 37 wins to hopefully even stretch his win record even further, as Arkhipov had the most wins by a goalie at 47, and for the most shutouts, it would also be him, but it would be like a 5-way tie. In the first round of the postseason, Buffalo will play the Montreal Canadiens, and unfortunately, we would end up losing in 6 games. It was looking pretty good as we took a 2-0 series lead, but after that, we lost 4 straight, basically getting swept in the process, as Pekka Pasta was respectable. 1 shutout, a 907 save percentage as well. Obviously, a 2-4 record isn't great, but that is more due to the team. Shout out to the Minnesota Wild getting the job done, winning their first Stanley Cup in franchise history, beating the Columbus Blue Jackets. And unfortunately, Pekka Pasta did not win the Vezina Trophy. If we take a look at the Ted Lindsay, we'll go to Michael Misa, as well as the Art Ross and Hart Trophy. And I look like an absolute fool, dude. Pekka Pasta did not even decide to retire at the end of the year. So I guess I'm just going to go ahead, simulate up until his retirement. He's probably not going to play in the NHL any longer. He's not really that good of a goaltender anymore. So I guess I'll see you guys when Pekka Pasta finally decides to call it quits. And finally, after 1,269 games... You literally cannot make that up. Pekka Pasta has decided to retire. 646 wins, 503 losses, 103 overtime losses. He also had 96 shutouts and a .924 save percentage for a career, which I mean through... Okay, get out of here, Jesper Wallstedt. Stop trying to steal the show, buddy. You are not Mr. Pekka Pasta. I mean, going through his career, he was a great goalie start to finish. Obviously played his final year in the AHL, but I mean, wins were really never his strong suit, but that was because we were on a pretty bad team in Buffalo. I mean, he had a .940 season, a lot of .930s, a .927, and then it got a little wavery near the end of his career. In the postseason, he really wasn't the same goaltender. 30 wins in the playoffs. He had only 3 playoff shutouts, which is surprising. A .916 save percentage, .288 GAA. A lot of the times getting swept or bounced in the first round. Of course, that one year we played 23 games and won the Stanley Cup. That was the best year of his career. Now for the record book, I did not play the most amount of games. It was actually Jesper Wallstedt who played 1,700 games. That is insanity. We would end up finishing third all time. Oh my god, Marty Brodeur actually played more in real life. That's crazy. The most goals, none of that matters. We would still not even be close to the most wins that Martin Brodeur had in real life. So that is just how unbreakable that record is, honestly. That Marty Brodeur damn near has 700 career victories in the NHL for shutouts. We were not even close either. 94 compared to Brodeur's 125. So maybe we can do this again and maybe try to break both of those records. Maybe put Pekka Pasta on a much better team. But overall, I felt pretty good about his career sim outside of the non-playoff success that we had. So that will do it for Pekka Pasta's career in the NHL on Buffalo. Obviously, only 1 Stanley Cup. He did end up having, I believe, 8 Vezinas in his entire career, which I don't know if that would be a record. It might be. But you guys let me know in the comments below. Is he the greatest goaltender of all time? I would like to say thank you all for watching. And until next time, don't be silly. Wrap your willy.